My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite PrizePicks entry for UFC Vegas 87. If you don't know what PrizePicks is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say more or less than the numbers you see on the screen, and you can 10 times your money. You can 100 times your money if you get the promos and the boosts. It is a ton of fun. It is super easy, and they will even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/prizepicks, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $10, they'll give you 10. If you give them 100, they'll give you 100. Take that very free money instantly, build yourself an entry, 10 times it, and now you have a ton more free money. And if you lose, it's okay. You only lost the free money. No rollover, no obligation. They give you the free money instantly. You use it. You can withdraw it if you win. wewantpicks.com/prizepicks, promo code WWP. I am going to focus on UFC, but as you can see, it's every single sport. Tennis is on here as well, and all sorts of other sports that Americans probably aren't watching, but should. Basketball's on here, and baseball as well. Let's go ahead and jump right in. A lot of heavy favorites on this card. If we're looking at betting, a lot of heavy favorites, and I think most of the favorites are going to win. So if we come in here to PrizePicks, now we're looking for how many strikes are they going to land? How many takedowns will they get? And I don't typically like significant strike lines because these are subjective numbers. There's literally a human being registering a clicker. That was significant, and going on like that. But there are some significant strike lines here that I do like. Javid Basharat, for example, 76.5. He has gotten past this number in 3 of his last 5 fights. The only 2 fights he didn't get past this number, one was a no contest with Victor Henry in his last fight, and the other was a submission. He cruises past this number. This is how he fights. He pot shots, he point fights, even with takedowns, just touch. Not typically a lot of finishes here. Ayman's going to stay on the outside, try to keep this fight standing. I think he cruises past 76.5 significant strikes. Then we have Christian Leroy Duncan at 37.5. He has also cruised past this number in every single fight that he's been in, except a 2-minute knockout. I do not see an early knockout here. Claudio Ribeiro's pretty tough. I think 37.5 is a reasonable number. Even if Christian Leroy Duncan finishes Claudio Ribeiro, it's going to be with a wild blitz. It's not going to be a one-hitter quitter. It's going to be a whole bunch of really fast, really heavy strikes that will help get to this total. I think he gets past 37.5. And the last one I like here is Stevie Erceg. It is 39.5. I got this line at 37.5 just a few days ago. If you're a premium member, you saw the 37.5. It's 2 extra strikes. I don't think it's that dramatic. I think we'll be fine. You either cruise past it or you don't. It's not very often that you barely make it. Steve Erceg has also gotten past this number in every single one of his UFC fights very easily. And Matt Schnell, his opponent, is insanely tough. And all that means is there's going to be more time for him to get hit. I am surprised Steve's number is this low because he has shown that he's not necessarily a wild finisher. He's fighting a very tough opponent. And Steve Erceg has gotten past this number in his sample size. Typically, what they do is they just go through a fighter's record, look at how many strikes they've landed, look at the round line, and do the math. In this case, it's almost as if they didn't do that. So I think Steve Erceg, 39.5, that's probably my most confident one of the strike lines. If you look at fight minutes, I do like some fight minute lines here as well. If we go to Ludovic Klein, 6.5, I like more. Ludovic is another guy that he's very good. He should dominate this fight, but he's not like a prolific finisher. He's not one punch knocking people out. He's usually just the much more technical striker and working his way to a clear decision. He's been working in wrestling as of late. He is fighting a short notice guy in AJ Cunningham, but AJ is tough. I think AJ can walk through the stiffer strikes of Ludovic, make it an ugly fight, and get us a minute and a half into the second round. That's all we need here, and I think that happens. The other one I like is Shamil Gaziev. I do think we get out of the first round. This is sort of a clash of styles. Jairzinho Rozenstruik doesn't get out of the first round insanely often. He does do it if you go through his history there. He gets out of the first round quite a bit. But as of recent, he hasn't been. But that's because he fought Jalton Almeida, who destroyed him. He fought Chris Daukaus, who's a straight-up bum with no chin. But if you zoom out and you get him away from the killers and away from the bums, his fights go a little longer. I think Shamil Gaziev is very good. I think Shamil Gaziev wins this fight, but he may work in some wrestling. He may work in some cage control. He didn't get Martin Bidet out of there super quick. I don't think he's getting Jairzinho Rozenstruik out of there pretty quick. Jairzinho could obviously land one punch. These are freaking heavyweights, for Christ's sake. But I do think we get to the second round, and all we need is the second round to start. This could end at 0.0001 second of the second round, and we're still good. And I think this hits. I've got my entry built already. We'll go take a look at it. It's everything I just mentioned, and the difference you're going to see is the Christian Leroy Duncan, 37.5. Steve Erceg, 39.5. Ludovic Klein, 6.5 minutes. Shamil Gaziev, 5 minutes. And the Javid Basrat, 76.5 minutes. This is my entry. This is what I'm doing with it. If we go back, I did not love any of the takedown lines. Muhammad Mokaev should get past 3.5. He's cruising past this number all the time. We already have a max entry here with 5, but you can swap one of these out for the more than 3.5 on Muhammad Mokaev. Vitor Petrino, I would not touch. He may stand there and bang. Tyson Pedro is the better grappler. And Steve Erceg, 2 takedowns. I wouldn't touch that one as well. Matt Schnell, this may end up being a striking match. And then the fantasy score, I don't like any of these. I just don't like any of them. I don't think Ludovic Klein wins by finish, so he's not going to get to 111.5, but he might land 10,000 strikes. He may defend takedowns, and PrizePicks scores well for defending takedowns. So the entry I built is right here. If you like it, great. If you don't, it's okay. Build your own. The most important thing, though, is get your free money. Go to WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks. Use promo code WWP. Get your free money. Build yourself an entry. Win that entry. Withdraw all your free money, and you are good to go. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks. Promo code WWP.